Good morning, sir. Today we would like to have the assignment presentation, and we are from Group 16P. And our group member have me, Yan Sun, Yong Jin Sun, Lao Zhen Xian, and Chong Hong Min. So today I will explain the difference between a security model and a security blueprint. So a security model actually is a high-level conceptual framework that define an organization's security objective, policy, principle, and governance structure. It focuses on what security requirements need to be achieved to protect information and organization access. On the other hand, a security blueprint is detailed implement plan that translate those requirements into the practical security control and technology. It actually focuses on how security requirements will be implemented, those mechanisms such as access control, encryption, network security, and monitoring system. So the relationship between them is that security model provide the direction and requirement, while the security blueprint is convert those requirements into actionable security solution. Therefore, the blueprint serves as the bridge between the security planning and actual implementation. So we can see that as the table show the key difference between the security model and security blueprint. So the key difference is that a security model is a strategy and conceptual, whereas the security blueprint is technical and operation. So the security model is define what need to be protected and establish the security policy and governance framework. In contrast, a security blueprint define how protection will be achieved by specifying the architecture, technology, and security control to be employed. So critically, adopting a security model alone does not guarantee effect security. Frameworks such as ISO 27001 provide valuable guidance and governance, but they cannot directly protect the organization asset. So without the security blueprint, organizations may achieve remaining vulnerable to cyber threat due to weak implementation. Therefore, security requirements defined by the model must be translated into the practical control to the security blueprint to ensure the effective protection and enforcement. So, in the end, the security model defines what security is required, while the security blueprint defines how security is implemented. Both are essential for achieve the effective.
Okay, so right now I'm going to covering two widely recognized Info SEC risk framework, that is ISO 27001 and the NIST cybersecurity framework. So for the ISO 27001 is an international standard for information security management system revised in 2022. It contains 10 clauses and 93 control across four terms in NSA. It followed the plan, do, check, add cycle, and critically support third-party certification and giving organization externally verify proof of compliance. This made it especially relevant for regulatory requirements like GDPR or Malaysia PDPA 2010. NIST CSF, developed by the US National Institute of Standard and Technology, released version 2.0 in 2024. It's organized around six core functions that is govern, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Unlike ISO 27001, it does not prescribe specific control. It defines outcome and reference other framework. There is no formal certification and is flexible and self-paced. Next slide. So for the next one is comparing the two technically. For the ISO 27001 is a formal prescriptive standard with third-party certification, while the NIST CSF is a voluntary, flexible guide with no certification pathway. ISO 27001 is compliance-oriented, but NIST CSF is risk and outcome-based. For the ISO 27001 also tends to cost more due to the formal audit process. That said, Both are risk-based, built on the CIA trial, and require senior management involvement. In short, they are complementary. NIST CSF as a strategy risk overlay and ISO 27001 as the certification backbone. Many organizations use both together. That's all.
Um, Hi, sir. My name is Long Jin Sun, and I'll be explaining about the evaluations of ISO IEC 27001. The strength of ISO IEC 27001 lies in its ability to provide structures and auditable information security management system, also known as an ISMS. Besides that, it helps organizations identify security risks, apply appropriate control, and continuously manage information security. In addition, it establishes formal policies and accountability across the organization, which helps reduce inconsistent security practices. Moreover, since it is intentionally recognized and certifiable, it increases trust and confidence among customers, business partner, and regulators. On top of that, Annex A provides a comprehensive set of security control for organizational, people, physical, and technical. However, there are also limitations. Firstly, the certification process can be costly because it requires formal audits and regular surveillance assessment. Besides that, it involves significant documentations and administrative efforts, which can be challenging for medium-sized organizations. With limited cybersecurity staff, moreover, the standard focuses on the standard focuses more on what need to be done rather than how to implement it, which can make adoptions difficult for organizations with, with less mature IT governance. Next. The strengths of NIST's cybersecurity framework are its flexibility and scalability. It is structured around 5 core functions, which are identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Besides that, these functions help organizations strengthen their cybersecurity posture and address issues such as weak access control and poor incident response. Moreover, since it does not require certifications, organization can adopt it gradually based on their most critical risks. This makes it a practical and cost-effective solution for organizations with limited security resources. However, there are also limitations. Firstly, it lacks formal certifications and external auditing, unlike ISO and unlike ISO IEC 27001. Organization cannot easily provide independent proof of compliance. Besides that, its flexibility can become a weakness if the organization lacks sufficient cybersecurity expertise. In some cases, this may lead to incomplete implementations of paper compliance, where the framework is followed in theory but not effectively applied in practice. Next. Lastly, both frameworks provide strong benefits for organizations. ISO IEC 27001 offers strong governance, documentations, accountability, and internationally recognized certification, but it requires higher costs and resources. On the other hand, NIST cybersecurity framework is more flexible, easier to implement, and focuses on practical cybersecurity improvement. Okay, that's all for me.
I will continue presenting our customized information security management framework based on ISO 27001 for a medium-sized electronic retailer. ISO 27001 was selected because it is an internationally recognized standard for information security management. It provides a structured and risk-based approach to protecting organizational information assets. For an electronics retailer, this is particularly important because the organization handles customer payment information, inventory records, supplier data, and other business critical information. In addition, ISO 27001 promotes continuous improvement through the Plan Do Check Act or PDCA cycle, allowing security measures to evolve alongside emerging threats and business requirements. The first component of the framework is governance and responsibility structure. Effective information security requires clear accountability across the organization. An information security steering committee is established, consisting of key management personnel such as the IT manager, operations head, and information security officer. The information security officer is responsible for maintaining ISMS documentation, coordinating risk assessments, monitoring compliance, and reporting security performance to senior management. Strong management commitment is also essential to ensure that information security is treated as a strategic business priority rather than solely a technical concern. The next component is access control policy. Access to systems and data should be granted based on the principle of least privilege through role-based access control or RBAC. Employees are only given the access to resources necessary for their job responsibilities. Multi-factor authentication is implemented for administrative and privileged accounts to strengthen account security. Regular access reviews are conducted to identify and remove access permissions, while inactive or unnecessary accounts are immediately revoked. These measures help reduce the risk of unauthorized access and insider threats. Next, the framework also emphasizes standardized security procedures. These procedures ensure consistency in security practices throughout the organization. Key procedures include data classification and handling policies, employee security awareness training, and regular reviews of documented procedures. By standardizing these activities, the organization can reduce operational risks and improve compliance with security requirements. Another critical aspect is incident response planning. The proposed incident response process consists of 5 stages, which is detection, reporting, containment, recovery, and review. First, security incidents are identified and verified. Once confirmed, they are reported to the information security officer and relevant stakeholders. The organization then takes immediate containment actions to limit damage and prevent further impact. Recovery activities are performed to restore system and services to normal operation. Finally, a post-incident review is conducted to identify lessons learned and improve future response capability. Based on our analysis, several key findings were identified. Standardized frameworks such as ISO 27001 provide a strong foundation for information security management. However, security controls should not be implemented blindly. They must be tailored to the organization's specific operational environment, business objectives, risks, and threat landscape. ISO 27001 is particularly suitable because it offers flexibility through its risk-based approach while maintaining a structured management system. In conclusion, we recommend adopting ISO 27001 as the core framework or model for information security management. By customizing its controls and to address the retailer's unique requirements and continuously improving security practices through the PDCA cycle. The organization can strengthen governance, protect critical information access, improve incident readiness, and enhance long-term business resilience. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.